Okay, here we go. So hi, I'm Elie, Logion's co-founder, and today I'm thrilled to announce a new capability of Logion for safe digital ownership. And this is the capability of be able to deliver NFT underlying assets to the sole NFT owner. But first thing first, what is Logion? So Logion is an international association. We aim to become a parachain by the end of the year. And Logion is supported by the Polkadot program of Outlier Ventures. And we got a grant from the Web3 Foundation with regard to the protection we want to offer to the Web3 ecosystem over the long term. What is the Logion protection? So first, as you know, digital ownership is completely unsafe. For instance, chain analysis estimate that more than $140 billion of Bitcoin, and we are just talking about Bitcoin alone, are locked in lost wallets. You also have, sometimes NFT underlying assets that could disappear overnight. And that's exactly what happened to the Cool Cats collection. And then you have an NFT, that is a certificate of property, that is linked to no property at all. You have also OpenSea that publicly admit that more than 80% of NFT created with their platform are plagiarized works, spam, or fake collections. Last but not least, stablecoin. You have a lot of doubt those days with regard to the existence of stablecoin underlying assets. So at Logion, our take is that you will never have mass adoption without safe digital ownership. So what is Logion? Logion is a public blockchain operated by a decentralized network of international legal officers that provide legal protection, legal grade protection to digital assets and related transactions. Logion is the only blockchain where all digital asset data and underlying files are genuinely transformed into certified, verified evidence, and tokens are safeguarded by a decentralized network of legal officers. So basically, we are providing two kinds of protection. First, before a transaction, we provide the digital asset generation protection for marketplaces or any kind of token-based project. So we give the ability to verify and to check the existence of a token underlying asset, whether it's digital, physical, or even monetary. We also created an innovation, a specific blockchain object, and we name it the legal officer case, or LOC. The LOC is a blockchain object where you will store everything that materializes a transactions, and everything it's completed with an IPFS network that is private and encrypted, where you will have all the related files, of course, under restrictive access rules. And then we announced today that we had to that comprehensive protection an additional capability, the ability to actually deliver NFT underlying assets to the sole asset holder. Then, after a transaction, we offer to digital wallet providers two types of protection: social recovery service and multi-signature service, again provided by a decentralized network of independent legal officers. So social recovery, specifically when you have the password or seed phrase loss situation, you will have the help of a legal officer that will help you through that process for recovering your assets after, of course, due diligence. And when it comes to multi-signature, it's the ability from a vault to transfer assets with your signature and the co-signature of a legal officer that you selected before and that will allow the execution of the transfer. That comprehensive protection before and after a transaction again comes from a decentralized network of legal officers. And in the project, Logion is supported by the president, Mark Schmidt, and the secretary, Patrick Guillin, of the International Union of Judicial Officers. The International Union of Judicial Officers is by far the largest legal professional association in the world. 5 continents, more than 100 countries. So that's why we say that all the projects built with the Logion infrastructure are actually protecting their digital asset holders. So, NFT. Let's focus on the NFT situation. So when of course you want to acquire something digital, digital ownership is particularly complex. And of course, at the time of the sale, that complexity is hidden. But you face that complexity no later than when you try to sell what you own. First, if the image of any kind of underlying digital asset is actually stored on a centralized storage of a company that goes down, or if you lose access, then there is no guarantee that you could get your property back. Same thing goes with the documentation that protect your rights. The terms and conditions, the type of right that you own with the NFT, you need to protect that. And if you lose that, you jeopardize your rights. So you will have an NFT, and it means the string of letters and numbers that basically say that you own something, that you own the NFT. But then all the underlying assets could be gone. So if the NFT is permanent, the underlying assets and related documentation are not. Additionally, as all underlying assets are usually stored on public storage system, it means that everybody can actually download the asset that you actually acquired by buying the NFT itself and can use it. So in a digital world, when you make a copy of a digital file, there is no difference between the file and its copy. Thus, you need really, when you face that digital ownership situation, you need to retrace everything yourself. And that situation jeopardizes the core value of the NFT you own. So how we solve that situation with Logion? So step 1, we work with marketplaces, for instance, in the NFT use case, and we create a complete legal framework with the project. So we create a legal officer case where the proof of existence of the company that is behind the project, where the proof of existence of the author of the collection, where we store also the type of contracts, the type of rights that are transferred with the NFT. I mean, everything that materializes what you can do, what you can't do with the collection. And that creates a legal framework. Then, as soon as the legal officer validates that legal framework, we create a technical bridge, a secure funnel that allows data transmission between the marketplace infrastructure and the Logion infrastructure. That's the step 2. Step 3 Each NFT creation leads to data and file submission by the marketplace to the Logion infrastructure under the Collection Legal Officer case scope. And by files and data, I mean NFT ID, NFT description, type of transferred rights, of course, the digital underlying asset file or any kind of file that are related to that NFT. Then, step 4, each NFT creation leads to the availability of a public online Logion certificate with the Collection Legal Officer case and NFT data that are publicly available. It's a zero-knowledge infrastructure because, of course, you will never access, we are not revealing the content of the files. Every file that we protect, we generate, for every file, we generate a hash, and that's how we prove the existence, as verified by the legal officer, of all the documentation and all the things that materialize again the transaction. You have an address that ends with the ID of the NFT, and again, it's a direct reading of the blockchain infrastructure. A print of that certificate is not valid. Okay, that's the idea. So, the Logion infrastructure is in a production mode since November last year. Of course, it's for the blockchain part, we are in a standalone mode. We aim to become a parachain by the end of the year, but still, we are running that infrastructure in a complete production mode. And in December, we started our first project with the King Baudouin Foundation, a museum, the Casterman, the publisher, and a digital marketplace named Arts. And the idea for when you buy an NFT from Didier Comès, so that artist is a black and white master, and the idea is that with the when you pay for NFT, that sale will actually help to finance the restoration of those masterpieces. And in exchange of that NFT, the NFT is linked to a physical object, a reproduction, high quality print, completely limited, very limited edition that the NFT owner will receive after the restoration. And you also have the ability to have a private usage of the digital file of the masterpiece that you selected. That NFT has been minted on the Ethereum blockchain, and when you actually buy that NFT, you see on the marketplace that on the NFT metadata, you have a Logion ID. And that Logion ID is linked to a Logion certificate, where again, you will have a list of everything that materialized and secure all the party to that transaction. You know that a legal officer actually checked the existence of every company behind that project. You have the proof, the hash of all that documentation. You know that there is a contract that allows Arts to actually execute that initiative. You also know that there is a legal officer that went on site at the museum and wrote an official statement of facts that proved the existence of those masterpieces. So everything there is materialized on the Logion certificate, public certificate. And as NFTs has been sold on OpenSea, for the first time in the OpenSea history, you are actually a legal officer, Elie Auvray, that certified the existence of everything that protects the party to that project, especially the rights and the underlying assets related to that NFT. So we decided to add, and that's something we announced today, we decided to add an additional protection, and that could be the step 5. It's the ability to deliver to the sole NFT owner the NFT underlying assets. So from the NFT marketplace or from the certificate, you will have a claim your digital asset button. And when you click on that, you will sign, and Logion will cross-check information and data from the marketplace and from Logion to allow the generation of a copy of the file that will be only delivered to the NFT owner. So those are mock-ups of the feature. So this is, from the online certificate. You have a claim your asset button, and we decided to go with MetaMask from the Ethereum ecosystem, because as a matter of fact, the vast majority of NFTs are today minted on the Ethereum ecosystem. But that being said, we are currently discussing with the Polkadot community, especially with unique networks, also Astar, our friends from Astar, and also a marketplace named Artpool. So the first development that started this feature, we decided to go with the MetaMask integration. So the idea is you sign with your MetaMask, then you have a Logion engine that actually cross-check the asset hash that is stored on the Logion blockchain. We also have the NFT identifiers, and we also have the MetaMask signature ID. And we cross-check that information with the data that are stored on the Ethereum blockchain, especially the NFT identifier and the NFT owner. And we are using the Etherscan APIs to execute that verification. Then we generate a specific version of the file from what we have on our IPFS private and encrypted network. And we sign the generation of the file and include the public key of the NFT owner. Then we deliver the file to the NFT owner, and we record the hash of that file, because then it would be very easy to detect if a file has been modified, because if there is no metadata or if the metadata has been changed, then you can, of course, detect it by just checking the different hash of the file. So it's, again, an additional layer of security here. So I hate PowerPoints, I have to say, and I really like to do a demo of that. So actually, we are at, let's say, 60% of completion of that feature. We aim to deliver and finalize this by the end of the summer. And this is where we are, actually. So this is a Logion certificate. You see that you have the contracts, the right definitions, the legal officer report, you have timestamp of all those documents, you have the hash of those files. That's the legal officer case that cover every NFT creation on the platform, on the marketplace. And for each NFT creation, you have a collection item that is actually created with timestamps, with identifier, which are the NFT ideas. And then you see that from the marketplace sends those information plus the underlying files. So let's claim that file. And to do so, I will have to sign. So as you see here, this is my MetaMask. And as MetaMask is linked to now Ledger, I can sign using my Ledger hard wallet, which gives an additional layer of security. So let's do that. Okay. Okay, application is ready. Let's sign again. There you go. So now on my Ledger, request a signature. I see the message, believe me. And now it's a signed message. And on the ledger, you have to just double click on two buttons. It's done. As you see now, I'm authenticated and Logion allows to actually download the related file. There you go. Here you go. So, this is where we are. So it's very cool implementation of MetaMask and Ledger by extension. Again, we allow the download of a digital asset, an underlying asset of an NFT file. With that protection, the complete workflow will be implemented by the end of the summer. So results. So with the legal officer case, you have one universal and permanent ID that is bound to the NFT. And then we have also a public certificate with zero knowledge proof infrastructure. We can say that there is a lot of documents that materialize and protect all the parties to a transaction without revealing the content, but providing the tools to the people that own those files to check if the version of the file that they got are genuine or not, are authentic or not. Then all data are secured on the immutable Logion blockchain. All related files are secured on the private and encrypted IPFS network that we deploy among all the different Logion blockchain nodes. And now we'll add the ability to deliver all underlying assets of an NFT, again, to the sole NFT owners. So we are protecting marketplaces, creators, owners, sellers, buyers through the entire NFT journey. As a consequence, the NFT and the underlying assets and documentation are now permanent, thanks to and bound with a blockchain-based certificate validated by an official legal officer you can eventually, if something goes wrong, speak with. Your digital ownership is truly protected, and that's why we say that all projects built with the Logion infrastructure are protecting their digital asset holders. Others aren't. And that's why Logion is the blockchain infrastructure of safe digital ownership, so that people can protect the value they create and exchange on the Polkadot ecosystem and beyond. Thank you.